Welcome back to Thinking Outside the Box podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are so glad to have everybody tune back into the dopest show in the streets, man. I bet y'all thought we was gone, man, huh? We ain't going nowhere, man. You know, the streets need us and we need y'all too, man. Welcome back to the show, man. Thank you guys for tuning into this special episode. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, all that stuff. There's so much stuff going on, man. So much stuff that we got to talk about, man. But of course, before we even get started on any of that stuff, see, we got the thinkers in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to welcome them back to the crew. The man right next to me, man, y'all already know who he is, man. He don't need no introduction, but this Holy Grind, man. Say what's up to him. Where can they find you?
Man, what's up, great people? Bless you, man. You can find me at Holy Grind on Instagram or at Holy Grind-H Grind on Facebook. Salute.
There it is, there it is. Right next to him, to his right, Moolah Man, controversial guy, man. Say what's up to him. Where can they find you?
What's up, people? You can find me at Moolah Monster Collection on Instagram. Check me out.
There it is. Next to him, to his right, the philosopher, the smartest man up here. Say what's up to him, man. Where can they find you?
Happy holidays, everyone. You can find me at black_scholar IG.
Nice, nice. And of course, I'm Reggie moving forward, man. You can find me at the NASSOCIETY or Reggie moving forward on Facebook. And we are
Thinking Outside the Box.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, listen here. We got so much to talk about, man. We are actually celebrating 1 full year, man, of doing this show, man. Big hands up to that, man.
That's right, that's right.
You know, we done a lot of dope shows. We in season 2. Had a lot of dope guests, man. I don't even want to think. We had so many people on, man. So thank everybody that came in this season 2, 2021. Graced us with their presence, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot more coming up in 22. And towards the end of the show, I'm going to give the guys a chance, man, to kind of give an overview of 21, man. What was 2021 like for y'all, man? Ups and downs. What are you looking for in 2020? All that good stuff, right? But before we get started, man, I got 2 points I want to hit on real quick. First and foremost, I want to say a big happy birthday to my oldest son, man, Reggie Jr. in the building, man.
Hey,
happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
It's always
It's
a
your
blessing.
birthday.
It's always a blessing, man, for real, to
birthday,
see your kids grow up, man. You know, it makes you feel a little old. You get a couple of grades going on, but, you know.
Right.
Not too late.
It's definitely a blessing, man. So definitely happy birthday, man. Love you. Second thing I want to kind of mention, during the holiday times, also during year-round times, there is something that's been brought to a lot of people's attention that kind of goes unnoticed, right? There's a topic that goes on that I kind of like to talk about that people don't talk about, and it's the mental health thing, right? I want to bring a little bit of awareness to it more because it's something that, especially around holiday times, people are really going through things, you know, depression, anxiety, isolation, right? Suffering from all type of PTSD, thinking about committing suicide, all different types of things, man. And lately, in news and in sports, we have different athletes coming out, you know, and I applaud them for standing up and saying, you know, I'm dealing with this and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm dealing with this, you know, and that's a big thing. Actually coming from someone who actually dealt with mental health issues myself, I think that now it's more vital than ever that we reach out to our people. We reach out to our friends and our families. Hey, man, you know, just checking on you, make sure you're good. You need to talk? Okay, cool. Look, I don't want no money, Unc. I just want to make sure you're cool. You know what I'm saying? Just that extended hand part to it, right? I think the biggest thing that we don't do in our society is we don't check on our people. We rely too much on social media to oh, I see him post stuff, so he must be good. You know what I'm saying? So I think that mental health is very important, especially among the Black community. This month alone, not even talking about this year, this month alone in December, we witnessed to have 10 people commit suicide for various reasons. Who knows what it is? You see what I'm saying? But it's real important that we just bring awareness to it, man, because like I said, it's important. Like we got athletes coming out talking about it, which is good. People from the NBA, NFL, all over, right? And I commend them because that's big to stand up and say, listen, I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with depression, right?
Red, could I just piggyback now, hijack the conversation?
Yeah, go ahead.
I believe that all Black people should be dealing with mental health, but do you think that's difficult just to admit, or is it difficult just to acknowledge?
I think that admitting it, especially on a public platform, is hard. Now, it may be different when it's just like, okay, I'm gonna tell my mom. I'm
A regular Joe.
You know, yeah. But if you have like a setting or a platform where you're like, yo, I'm really going through something. Yo, I'm really depressed. Yo, I'm really messed up. on a public platform, like athletes doing it, you know, I think it's big. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, and I ain't trying to dispute it. We just really having a conversation.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't feel ashamed to talk about that, like, because if we not experiencing some type of trauma, like, we really lying to ourselves. Is it fear what we really running from?
I think fear of maybe rejection or shame.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
People may look at you like something. I know for me in particular, like I said, I'm not ashamed. I went through some mental health issues before, and it was more so just shame. You know, you want to, especially when you're an older person, you want to be successful. You want to not have to turn to alcohol or addictions or drugs and things like that. You want to be able to say, look, I'm grown, I can hold my own, but sometimes we know life is hard, right? So everybody deals with it differently.
True.
So, I mean, I think that by you saying that, like I agree with you that.
Well, I go to therapy.
You know,
and
that's another thing.
I'm not really ashamed of it.
There you go.
Like, I go to therapy, and you know, some of my friends like, man, what you going to therapy for, man? But I'm a strong advocate with therapy. My daughter is a mental therapist, so
Oh, nice.
I'm a big advocate for it because I feel like if I don't go talk to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I always feel like dealing with mental health is like your safe space, man, where you can really like express whatever you can. Because, you know, a lot of people can't manage these different conversations in different situations.
Mm-hmm.
So, but naturally, I think we want to pour into somebody who's close to us and we think that they can manage. You know, I'm like, Max, if me and you jam,
Yeah.
I may think that I can tell you this, but you may not have the tools in order to communicate with me correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You may not have the tools. You may have the best intention, but you may not have the tools. So that's why I say mental health is, I even tell my oldest son, you know, I tell all my kids, go get therapy because there's a good chance I done screwed y'all up somewhere along the line. You know what I'm saying? No, what I'm saying is like, Grant, we were just talking about like, go study it for yourself. I did the best I could with the level of knowledge that I could give you, but it's all right to get a different reference because maybe you may get these tools from somewhere else, and I'm not offended by that.
Well, the good thing in that is because a lot of people that's dealing with mental health, they may not even know that it's mental health.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people dealing with stuff and they don't know what it really is. That's why it's good to talk to some people because you keep stuff bottled up inside and then you end up doing something crazy, snapping off or committing suicide.
Yeah.
All along you not knowing that you were dealing with something that you could have got help with if you just would have took time to talk to somebody, and then not necessarily meaning that somebody could have helped you, but they even could have pointed you in a direction,
The right direction.
of somebody that could help you.
Yeah.
But I think our culture, and I don't want to just isolate it because I only know about, I think we so judgmental, right? Like, that's what keep people, you know, like you said, was it young people? You said 10 young people?
Yeah.
And I even think you know a lot, you were saying something too about it in the high school, right? They already got this image of like, you know, that they trying to portray that they built for a certain way. And then what if buddy tell you he can't sleep at night or something like that?
Yeah.
It's like a sense of judgment. So I guess we need to start, the people that do believe in mental health, we need to be more outspoken to say that it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let them know that it's avenues, it's room out here for them. You know what I mean?
I think that's a good point. You know, that kind of lead to what the topic of discussion is.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Tell them what we're talking about today.
Today, you know, we want to address. You know, we put the title would be the generation of a soft era.
Whew.
You know,
Okay.
the generation of a soft era. You know, it's like Scott just said. A lot of times they don't say nothing because they're afraid of what's going to be being said about them. See, that's something that we gotta get away from. We got so many young people that's afraid to be wrong, or afraid to have say they've gone astray because they challenge. They're gonna feel bad by any backlash, and then instead what they do, they bottle it in, and then they become emotional. Instead of telling, no, man, address your issues and deal with it. You know, and it's running rampant among many of our sons. Now we got sons. And we ain't saying a whole generation like that, but we keep it real. You look at it, the majority are. We raising up young men, not saying that they're going to be perfect. Right. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that's not right. But for the most part, they are being established to be men. However, you got a lot of young men around here who not being established to be men. They're not being taught to mature. Because along with maturity, you understand that I may say something that's wrong, I may feel the way that's wrong, but I can talk to somebody and maybe help me fix what's broken inside of me. And I'm not scared about the judgment that comes behind it. But because so many of them are scared, they soft because the judgment behind it, because they got people in their lives who teach them like, nah, you don't do that. You don't say that. You don't cry. You don't do that. But you're not teaching them, you don't cuss people out neither. You don't go shooting people. You know what I mean? You don't throw temper tantrums. You know what I mean?
And I'm 100% on board, but I'm gonna go with the mindset too. Like, so for example, right, this generation, their behavior is starting to be way more erratic. Like it's way more spontaneous, and I think it's because in our generation we didn't really have father figures, but the structure was still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we were the last ones to experience the structure. And I think this generation, they've been forced to live in an era where there is no structure. There's no law, there's no structure. Everything is wide open. So I look at it like this, because me and him had a few conversations. If you're a young person and you ain't lucky enough to have a father figure like you, and say if it is a man in the house and he disrespecting you, you may not want to even show no weakness because you already feel like you you already feel like you being challenged, right? And so then when you go to school, they challenging you and you ain't never really been taught how to manage your emotions. All this stuff is just bottled up.
Yeah.
Now you telling them to go talk to somebody when him going to talk to somebody really not helping him with his situation, because he feel like so many things is piled up on him. And because like my daughter had said sometime before, like, I was just yelling. You know how you get upset, just yelling. And she said, well, you yelling because you fighting to be heard. Like, you're not really saying that, you just really just yelling because I want to get your attention, but I ain't really saying nothing, right? Because this is how much my emotion is out of whack. I only really developed that through maturity and through self-discipline and exposing myself around different people. But I wonder, like, if you a young person and you being raised, but don't nobody give a fuck. You know what I mean?
And that's the key word too.
That's
you know
important.
what I mean?
We're talking about, thanks everybody for tuning in, man.
Right.
Be sure you like, comment, share this episode and every episode, but in particular what we talk about. We talk about generation of a soft era. And both Grind and Scholar made some good points, and especially about, being raised with a father or father figure in your house, right?
Yeah.
I know for me, I can count on one hand how many times I've seen my father in my life, right?
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, when there's not a father or father figure in the home for a child, they lack that structure, and they turn to the streets where there's very little structure, if not no structure, right?
Yeah.
So,
Where they try to
they
get,
either turn to the streets or they become extra feminized.
because they learning because they're going to be up under their mom a lot.
Right.
So their mom going to lay the infrastructure down. She going to have to be, you know what I'm saying, mom and pops. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's not no pops around, she going to have to be both until she bring a stepdad
now,
around.
do you think that a child, especially a boy, that's raised by his mother has more likelihood of being feminized?
No, not necessarily.
It ain't being raised. It's how he's being raised.
Okay.
Now, because a woman,
Because the female can keep a son in sports and stuff like that also. You know what I'm saying? So that's not,
but not even just sports. It's up to the mom to teach him. Listen, you don't dress like I dress. You don't talk like I talk. You know what I mean? And have them around individuals. And when I say around individuals, it's not just the boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? It's other male figures.
Yeah.
You get them like a coach is
Uncles.
a good role model.
So we got to go back to what he said is the probability is greater then, because we talking about
that's true.
So
the probability is greater.
The probability is greater when if and The
Yeah.
father don't have to be dead or nothing like that. 'Cause
Right.
we be like killing
Right.
off the men,
Nah.
Right.
but if he is totally what the damage that the woman is gonna do if we're not present is she will not be able to identify when he's not managing his emotions.
Now let me say this too.
Right.
Let me say this for you.
Right.
And when you say that, and you tell me if I'm mistaken,
Right.
but when you say the damage that she's gonna do, it's not always intentional, correct?
No, it's not intentional.
I just want you to say
yeah,
that
yeah,
because
yeah. So,
a lot of women attack like, oh, they
So-
saying like
so
we ain't. No, it's not intentional.
it's not
just
intentional.
you acting in your nature, and you can't teach. It's hard for a woman to teach a man how to act in his nature because you're not a man. So the way you may get emotional about something, a man should not. We don't just react to things. We supposed to see things and analyze them and call them out for what they are. But yet, a lot of time, and women will tell you, this ain't no secret. We emotional. We emotional
Well,
creatures.
it could be the adverse effect, right? If we didn't have a woman, we was raising young daughters.
Exactly.
It's some things that
Okay.
we're gonna mess up, even though we got the best intentions. We know we're gonna mess up combing her hair, right? But it's certain, and then we may raise her to be so independent where she get the mindset that she don't need a man because this is our way of protecting her. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. But we also we interfering with her femininity. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something
Yeah.
based off what somebody just was commenting? Man, shout out Tommy Lynn.
What's up,
You
man?
know, now this, I want to say this. She said this. She said, I was a mom and a dad.
Oh, okay.
Let me say this to you. Not Tammy Lynn.
Oh, shout out to Tammy, man. Hey,
Lynn,
Tammy,
I'm
man.
sorry,
Thanks for
not
tuning
Tommy
in.
Lynn. My apologies. Tammy Lynn. You was not a mom and a dad. If you raised the son and he came out masculine, you was a good mom.
Right.
You take away from yourself when you say I was a mom and a dad. No, you did right as a mother to raise him according to as he should have been raised in the absence of the dad. But you was not the mom and the dad.
No, because we can't be replaced.
No, indeed.
You did good at, working late, putting in some extra hours,
Yeah.
but you ain't never a man because if you ever seen a healthy, not trying to be offensive, right? Is it fair to say, my aunt used to have a saying, 2 horses pull a wagon better than one. So we really can't debate it. You get what I'm saying? So if you get the proper structure, you're going to get a proper outcome. Just like if you get a proper education, the probability of you performing better is just greater, right? So the women are forced to and sometimes take on this role. And they've done,
Now that's the point there.
So she did good, but
Yeah, yeah.
2 can do better, you know.
Right.
Guess what
she
said?
did good with what she had.
Guess what else she said though?
Yeah.
She said, and my son had good role models.
There you go.
And see, that give more credit to you as a mom
Yeah.
to
Right.
put him around good role models that were men.
So
that-
she had the insight to look for this structure.
Right.
That's what y'all was saying. But obviously, when we're talking about the suicide and these different things,
Yeah.
there is going to be a scenario where maybe that woman could be so overwhelmed where she don't know how to go get them this structure or promote these different types.
Yeah.
Because let me ask you something. Like we was talking about our buddy Tanner. Like if your son going to school and getting bullied, how would the mother tell him how to handle that compared to how the father would tell him how to handle it?
Okay. That's a good question. Well, how about you
that's a
guys
great
answer?
question.
Just ask them that.
What about you guys answer that? If your son, if you're a lady and you're listening to this, right, and your son is getting bullied, right, and let's just say he comes home to you and for whatever reason his father's not around or there's no father figure, what would be your first thing to tell your son as opposed to what you think a man will tell him? Now, I could tell you, growing up, my mom raised me, right? I got bullied sometimes, and when I would come home, because I was a big crybaby, man. So
Right.
when I came home and I would cry about it, my mom would say, verbatim, she'd say, you better go whoop their ass or I'll whoop your ass.
Right,
Now that made me feel like, because I feared my mom.
right.
So that made me never not only get bullied again, but if I had a fight, I was make sure I was going to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? So certain women have different techniques of how they raise their son and their advice. Now, what would you guys tell your son, your 13, 14-year-old son, he's getting bullied, what would you tell him?
We go with Grind first.
Man, I was trying to wait to see what Governor was gonna say.
You go ahead, Moolah. He ain't said that. Let Moolah get the flow. You got it.
What you go tell your son? He getting bullied at school, man. What
And
you
try
gonna
to
tell him?
be, yeah.
I'm gonna keep it 100. This just me right now. Like, I almost got into it with a security guard at the school. So, like, I'm not even finna even go there.
But
But
I think he said about you when you was a kid, because Red described when he
no,
was a kid.
no, he's saying that, you know, if my son was getting bullied, right?
How would you tell him to handle the situation?
Yeah.
I think we gonna handle the situation. You know, I ain't gonna be the crazy dad, but I know his mom is, so I don't have to go extra because she gonna go extra. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna really try to talk it out, see where it go from there. You know.
Okay.
But I see if it go on. See, that's the thing. If it go on, then it's gonna be a problem. The first time is not a problem 'cause we could talk about it and we can come to agreement with some way, somehow, you know what I'm saying, getting these kids together. But if that don't work out and it go on, then we got a problem.
But what if your son, like, he passive and he really don't want no problems? He ain't, you know, he just a good kid, but he in this situation.
He come to teaching. He come to teaching.
Train them up.
It's just like a puppy.
No,
You know what I'm saying? It's like little puppies, Joe.
Right.
Listen, you got to roll with this pack. You're gonna have to do things that you might not be accustomed to doing.
So
You know what I'm saying?
that's right. So my response, they didn't respond yet, and that's usually what it's told because my mom made me do it.
Okay.
My mom made me do it. I had other role models, male. Now my father was there, but he really didn't. He was there, but he wasn't when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
He was there, but he wasn't. And he a great man now. I'm glad I got a great relationship now. But he was there, but he wasn't there. You know, he wasn't teaching me these type of things. My mom was rough. My mom was a fighter. You know,
Mine too.
my mom was
Yeah.
one of those people. You know, she went to the hospital. She walking out with the scalpel.
Oh,
You know
man.
what I'm saying? She was one of them. So when I got in the fight, you better go out there and whoop them. You know what I'm saying? Now, even though that's the way I was taught, it also it built a violent side of me. That now, anytime I feel threatened, well, not now, but it was a time where anytime I felt threatened, I tried to do the worst damage. As I grew up, I had to learn something different because I had to teach my son something different because I teach my son how to defend themselves. But every battle should not be addressed the same way.
Okay, that's fair.
Like you said, if I hear you being bullied, I want to analyze the situation. Well, who bullying you? It might find out it's a girl bullying you.
My
You know what I'm saying?
My
So-
son had that situation.
See, you might find out it's a girl bullying you. All you know is I'm being bullied. He might not even say it's a girl. You been and told him to go beat the brakes off the bully, and he been to beat the brakes off the girl. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. You got to be like, okay, well, let me assess the situation. And then, well, what's going on? Now, like I said, after we try to address it, listen, I have to understand, too, that if it's another child bullying him, I don't really want to hurt that child. You know, I really don't want to hurt that child like I don't want my child hurt. I want to rectify the situation.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to sit down with your mama and your daddy because I'm going to let your mama or your daddy know, listen, if this don't stop, he going to get hands put on him because I'm going to enforce that.
Okay.
I'm telling you that now, so this needs to stop, whatever the problem is. Now, then if it doesn't work out, if that doesn't happen, then, like Turbo said, now, okay, now you got to be taught what to do. You ain't ready, you gonna do it.
Yep.
That's why we teach them early. Like
Yep.
I taught mine early, I'm gonna give you a perfect scenario. I got my youngest son, he's 8 years old now. 2 years ago, he was 6 years old. Now I teach them to fight. They got punching bag. And matter of fact, he take karate right now and whatnot, but he got a punching bag. And it was a little boy in his class. It was my son's birthday, right? So my son get in line and they got video cameras in their hallway. My son get in line, his brother 2 years older than him, and his friend, they tell my son, get in the front of the line. But he was the first person out the room anyway. So he get in front of the line, another little boy come walk around the line and push my son over. So my son like, you see him talking, so you see kind of like, hey man, go on somewhere up in front. So he moved back. So the little boy pushed my son again. And on camera, you see my son look like, Bloop, 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 bloop. I'm talking about I'm dropping him on him. Then he grabbed the little boy, started kneeing him.
Oh, man.
He kneeing the boy. I'm sitting with the principal because it's a private school. I'm sitting with the principal like, I gotta suspend him. I'm like, who? Because he said then, I gotta suspend both of them.
Mm-hmm. 0 time.
Because he shouldn't have pushed him. And he did it twice. I say, please don't suspend that boy. I said, how you gonna show this to this little boy mom and daddy and then rightfully suspend him? So he said, I said, my son knows. And see, this is why I say the difference. I said, did he hurt you? No, but he pushed me. I said, did he hurt you? Did he bruise you? Did he punch you in your mouth? Is you bleeding? I said, what I teach you is to defend yourself. You don't be the bully. Now, what you should have did, y'all in school, I don't care, go tell the teacher. Matter of fact, the dude who was in front of the serving lunch was like 4 feet in front of them with his back turned. All he had to say was, dude, just push me out of line. But instead, he went ahead and whooped the little boy. You know what I'm saying? Little boy break down crying. And I'm like, man, so the whole scenario, it ended up better for him because the principal was like, instead of me suspending him, how about you come sit down and talk to all 4 of them?
Okay.
Because my oldest son, he's sitting back laughing like, yeah, whoop him. And his friend, he older than him, he like, yeah. And then I'm like, and my oldest son like, I said, why the hell you ain't grab him? He's like, well, I mean, he hit him first. I said, dude, he ain't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the problem. If we teach him to just be like that, now say they get older and he carry that over into high school.
Okay. That's fair.
Somebody step on your shoe. Push you out the way. You whoop them. They ain't been raised by no father to teach them the difference.
Okay.
What is they going to do if you whoop them like that in front of everybody in the school? What's going to happen?
Now that's important because we are talking about, once again, we
This
are talking
generation.
about this generation, the generation of a soft era. Same scenario, which was a great scenario, right? And it shows you the generation of how it all works. If someone pushes your son, right? Push it, okay,
Right.
don't push me. Pushes him again, right? And he haul off and whoop him, right? Okay, everybody like, yeah, whoop him, whoop him, whoop him, whoop him, whoop him. What do y'all think is different from this generation now, 2021, than our generation in the 80s, 90s or something? Do you think the same thing would have happened as far as a kid would have whooped somebody for pushing him and he would have got, you know what I'm saying? Is it a difference in the generations?
Somebody getting jumped, and then there's gonna be some guns.
No, it gonna
At
be
the
some
end-
guns
at-
in this
Some
generation.
guns.
See what I'm
Ain't gonna
saying?
be no
Ain't
jump.
no jump. If he already whooped them,
No, it's gonna be some guns.
Yeah, see what
in
I'm
front of
saying?
everybody, it's going to be some guns.
Yeah.
Because they ain't man, they ain't strong enough. They ain't man enough.
But we not. It's not enough for us. I think we present, right? Our kids got the luxury to have us here, at least reaching out. But nobody really taught these shorties how to take an L. Like I think we think it's supposed to be like, in a sense, it's unfair to say why they don't know how to walk away from it. But just like this mental health is a stigma, it may be such a stigma that they take this L that psychologically they don't know what to do with it. Right? I mean, think about it. Like,
So it is connected.
But your L can be live on social media,
Which is how it
world
normally
star.
works.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
so you know, it's like, what you gonna do?
So I ain't saying that it's right. What I'm saying is, all this is just demonstrating the mental health is the mental health gonna be here regardless. All of us suffer some type
Yeah.
of mental health, right? But the further we get away from the structure, as far as us being present, the worse the conditioning is becoming. You get what I'm saying?
So
It's a
what-
correlation between everything.
So what does it? So why, when we talk about generation of a soft era, why is it? So let's deal with it. Why is it that they are so soft and so emotional?
The first
They
one.
don't love.
mean?
This
No,
era.
the first one. I think the first one got to be discipline, self-discipline.
No, but it
Because-
ain't no love though.
But what I'm saying is that's part of it too.
That's
But-
discipline is
but-
part
but-
of love. The
Right,
Lord
but-
said
but-
He chances
no,
those that
this
He
one,
loves.
and I want to cut you off. Like, how do you even get to discipline? Like, if ain't nobody there loving you to discipline you, if he ain't never had nobody to whoop him, if he just been raised in himself, if his mother there, where is the discipline coming from?
It got to be self. That's why I say self-discipline. You got to have some type of self-discipline in your life without anybody
So
telling you or teaching you.
Wait, well I got you because you just said. Then here come the teacher. You just said
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Your
that's
son may know how to fight, but you're going to teach him the art of fighting.
Now hold on. Now what he's saying is, he may know about what's going on in life, but he need to be taught to be disciplined. That's what he's saying. And if there's not somebody that disciplining him, so that's where it first starts at.
Yeah, because if all he ever, like, we got to speak in practical terms. We've already heard the quote, niggas ain't shit. So it's a good chance, a huge population that's niggas. So if the men ain't nothing, and the women disrespecting the men not really present or active, I ain't finna put no title on, I'm just gonna say active.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like
If he ain't even active, right,
Mm-hmm.
these problems still coming his way. He trying to fit into the circle. He don't know what he don't know what a man's supposed to look like. Like some of these kids probably know how to change no tire, let alone you know what I mean. So he ain't never seen that. You know what I mean? Because he a video game baby. You know what I mean? He just on the game. Then y'all throw him out there in the world, right? And you want him to be disciplined.
And that's why we need, and that's what he's saying. That's why you need a father to analyze the situation, to teach you how to discipline yourself. Some situations need to just be talked out, and that's the problem. We don't want to talk. That go back to men. Nobody want to open up. I want to show you. I want to share something else that Tammy has said. She said this. She said, I think people think they struggle alone, so when others share their struggles, they know they are not alone. And there is hope. So that's the problem. A lot of people, a lot of these young kids think what they're dealing with, they the only ones dealing with it. Even though they don't know all their peers is dealing with the same situation. But because they don't speak to nobody, they don't want to open up, they don't have hope. Reason they don't want to open up, because you got mamas, every time they say something to mama, shut your ass up. Cause I get so sick.
And some mamas be smacking their sons.
Yes, I get so sick and tired of seeing these women cuss out these little boys. I'm like, look at what you doing to this little boy.
Another thing, Brian, too, and you know this true, and then we ain't spoke on this. What's different between this generation and the last generation? This generation, the women ain't got no problem talking about daddy in front of the kids. She'll tell you, you know your daddy wasn't shit. Your sorry ass pussy daddy, he don't work. And when she tear him down to the kid, right? You know these women out here, like, it ain't nothing private no more, right?
Right.
She done told, oh, your daddy got 4 baby mamas, and they over there, ain't no secrecy. It used to be in the past. You didn't know who that was with mama. That's Mr. Brown over there. You know what I mean? He had like some cold day.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's Mr. Henry. You know, he always over here fixing it. You didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Now the women that come in and be like, you know, Reg really wasn't nothing. You love your daddy. He gave you a little birthday cake. He ain't did none of them 6 birthdays. And so
to devalue, take away
so
from
then devalue. So Shorty going.
So right then and there, if you devaluing the man in front of a young man, now the man becomes something other than the man.
Than the man, because daddy already been devalued, and you trying to tell me to go talk to him, and the only thing he know, he ain't seen your ass in about 6 months. He don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But the man has been devalued.
Which is, man, that's a huge.
You know.
Please comment and share and like, especially that last point, man.
And then they ready to kick his ass out at 18 years old
As
without
soon as
no
he's
type
right?
of, you know.
Yeah, you done sit up here all
As
this
soon as
time
they
and
grown.
give no structure, and you want to kick them out.
Especially over the last, let's say, 20, 21 years, you know, over that time span, you know, the number of single moms is way over 75% of the last 25 years, right? As far as I'm talking about single parent homes where the son is being raised by the mom, the father is in and out, if that, right? So you get that generation of kids to this day, and now they get into a fight at school. Instead of fighting, they're going to get a banger. They didn't have that type of structure. Like my sons, I always taught my sons that, you know, you take up for your brother. You don't, if somebody's messing with your brother, you be you right there.
Indeed.
No matter what. I don't care.
Indeed.
If you get in trouble, we'll take care of it after that. But you don't let nobody, you know what I'm saying? So I think that
Most of those kids who shooting been smacked by their mama most of the time.
I wouldn't even doubt it.
whoa, that's
So
heavy.
check this out. So they getting cussed out by mama. They getting smacked around by mama. Cussed out some more by mama. daddy getting dogged out, and then mama kick him out. All she did was weaken him.
And then bring
Make him more and more
bring a
soft.
stepdad around, and he better not touch him.
He better not touch him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, he good enough to go and say at you, but you ain't good enough to discipline
You better
my
not
child.
touch him.
Hey, this is my friend. You better not
This
touch
better
it.
not touch
You better not touch
And-
it.
and all
He
kids,
bringing
like,
bread, water,
That's
everything in the
football
house.
Right.
Funny.
You opening up wide for me, but he can't touch your
That's
son.
super
He can't
funny.
discipline your child.
That's
So
important.
somebody know you got to date her and the kids
Oh
checking.
my God.
Right.
Yeah.
What'd you
That's
say?
that's
Oh,
gold.
my
Right
Like,
And he don't want to be around.
there.
my
Yeah.
son just checked me, but babe, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Everything cool.
I know. You just like the rest of them. You gone.
You get your plate
I
last.
ain't finna be subject to what he's subject
No.
to. I'm gone.
I'm
I
outta
ain't
here.
finna hit.
Right.
Put something in the refrigerator, and I see Shorty over there eating it. I'm like, well, damn, Shorty eat my pizza and shit. But I better not say that, and I better not touch it.
You can't do nothing.
We are talking about a generation of a
Oh
soft
my
era.
God. No, man. Crazy.
We try to make some key points
I
here,
get
man. But that's really important though. Is when you're talking about the generation of our children, especially step parents, man. Because the first thing rebellious ass teenagers is gonna first, you ain't my daddy. What I'm gonna listen to you for? You in and out. You know, you got into it with my mama last night. You might be gone. I don't never see you again. You know what I'm saying? The stability aspect of it, the longevity of having someone that you can look to, even if he's not your real biological father. Yo, I can always depend on him, which is rare, which causes a lot of softness or feminism with our young boys.
Ooh, I got something for you. All right, so check this out. A lot of people will say though, if that was y'all wouldn't want no other man putting their hands on your kids. Let me tell you something. My children that I had out of wedlock, that's one thing. I could not get them to do it because of the old me. They thought that I was, but I used to tell their mama, listen, if you got a man, especially if he marry you,
Yeah.
listen, I want him to take care of mine just like I would if I was there. And if they wrong and they need a whoop and they need their butt to whoop, man, handle that. You ain't got to always call me. I don't mind being there for him, but if he in the house with you, let him be the man. Now, you ain't finna beat him. I ain't talking about beat him to death or beat her to death. But you know what I'm saying? If they need to be disciplined, because I'm not there 24/7. I want mine disciplined as much as possible. But like you said, we got these women who be like, don't touch them. But then, so you want me to be a man? You want me to one day propose to you, be a husband to you, but you don't want me to rule my home? Because if I rule my home, everybody in here is under that authority.
That's fair.
And my thing is too, right?
That's fair.
Like you said, we want our sons to be in that predicament. Well, it's like this, right? If you know your kid's mother, you know what I'm saying, and you know that, you know, she's a hooker, she a hoe, whatever, right?
Prostitute.
And she got different guys. You don't want them
That's true.
pushing. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know really what type of wave she
That's
on.
true, though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Because now she didn't settle down and you know what I'm saying, picket fence. She is, you know what I'm saying, putting on the Crocs and shit. Then yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But that's what I said. If a man marry you, if a man take enough to respect you enough to marry you, knowing that you have kids outside,
Right.
it's not his, and he's willing to take on that responsibility.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I think-
But I agree with you
What
100% on that.
But Leroy down the street
But-
that come through
Nah,
can't.
That's
no.
what
He
I'm
can't
saying.
be-
So
Yeah, no,
the
okay.
reason what y'all really trying to say is the new relationship that the woman trying to move on don't have no structure. That's why we can't allow certain things to go on because
Exactly.
it ain't no structure. Because this your man, he can't get no authority over my son. You just dating him. It might be another one. You get what I'm saying? But if he came in responsible, you will know that, and your son will know that, how y'all gonna do these different things because he coming to you with a level of courtesy, knowing that he watching over your son and so on and so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
But there ain't no structure right now. So that's why anything goes right now. Remember I told you, the kids don't have no structure.
Right, because the men ain't even stepping up to play that role.
And stepdads don't even get no awards. We done took care of a lot of kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't get no awards. It, like that's like last place.
Last place.
No, serious.
I'm gonna
You
say
don't
this
get no nothing.
I'm gonna say this for the camera.
This is thinking outside the box. Right there.
Hey, what you build
Go
up,
to a family event and see what happened.
but forget though, it's what you
Oh my
It's what you
God.
invested in the kid, though.
Right,
bro.
like
Yeah, that's what counts
That's
at the end of the
reward.
day.
At the end of the day, that's the reward.
Yeah.
What you invested in the kid, because even during the courting process, if I'm trying to establish a relationship with you, I ain't gonna put no hands on him, but at least give me the opportunity to pour into him as a man. Pour into him, you know what I'm saying? Give him some. If you respect me enough that we pursuing a relationship, possibly marriage, then allow me to pour a little bit into him. But I will never take on the road to put my hands on him if we ain't married. I feel like that.
I used to wait for a kid to tell me, "You ain't my dad." I'm like, I want to be your dad.
Now we got the softer generation right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why we got the softer generation. But I will say this, under the mental health thing, on the serious side note, you ain't never alone out there.
Never.
You know, it's always somebody out there that got your same situation or somebody that you could talk to. So for the young people out there that are struggling with this thing, we taking a little bit of jokes, but don't give up. You know, now as far as on the softer era, right? We share some responsibility too, because you know we bringing these young people on charges for the the fugazi that they doing.
Yeah.
But they the product of soft men.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Say it.
Yeah.
I'm
You
glad you
understand what
said
I'm
that
saying?
too.
We
So-
got last comment.
Dysfunctional women and soft men
Right.
will raise a kid who's shooting up the school.
Right, yeah,
There you go.
hitting women and stuff like that, it ain't no honor in that. And see, soft men won't even talk about this and dismiss that. We got to start speaking on this thing, man. It ain't no honor in beating no woman. It ain't no honor in beating no old person. You don't get no points. We ain't dismissing it.
Yeah.
We don't ignore it. We don't overlook it. None of that stuff. Like if you none of those things should be saluted.
Yeah.
None of those things. We shouldn't even deal with these people that we know got this type of behavior.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But when we go around here and we act like it ain't nothing, it promoted to be accepted.
Exactly, and that's what make them even softer.
Yeah.
That's what make them more
That's
soft.
make them more softer because we ain't saying nothing about it and we not addressing it.
Yeah.
Tammy has said something. She has said that I call them bonus dad, not stepdads. Most definitely, most definitely. You and me both. The bonus dads, bonus moms,
That's
bonus
better, though,
dads. That's better.
You don't get no bonus points.
But I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. Like if we not saying nothing to the kids, they are a product. Men, we not all putting it on the women, because we know a lot of men not stepping up, to the plate. You know what I'm saying? A lot of reasons is because the women has fallen victim to what the government has pushed amongst us as a people. You know what I'm saying? That has forced us out of our homes and things of the sort. However, the man still got to take the responsibility to say, listen, I'm going to be here. I'm going to fight for it. We run too many soft males that's supposed to be men. They run from fighting for what they get. We got to realize if we choose to lay down with her and establish a kingdom with her, and once you start having children, you establishing, you got to do your best to fight for that. Now, if you're fighting for it and she's continuously fighting against you, then you got to dust your feet off and keep it moving. But you can't just automatically say, I'm just done, without even trying to fight for something that you bared your seed in.
True.
Yeah, and the women got to take some responsibility too. Stop dealing with men that ain't really, if they not taking care of their seeds, man, he not gonna take care of you. How he gonna love you more than he love his seed?
Well, we talking about ones that get kids, right? In
Right,
that sense,
right,
yeah.
right.
For the ones that get kids, but we talking about, period. For
Right.
even the ones that don't have seeds, that a woman think might be the one.
I think we kind of be too gentle with some of the people that we deal with who don't,
That's what we getting.
hold the ability to take care of their kids or even just run around here just being responsible. You know what I'm saying? So, because like I said before, real niggas back in style. Real niggas was dead because, we wasn't stepping up to the plate and tell them like, yo, you know what I'm saying? First thing a person gonna do is like console them.
Yeah.
There ain't no consoling. No, ain't no more of that. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's your buddy, that's your friend, need a helping hand, help him out the right way. Don't tell him like, oh man, let's go to church Sunday. No, listen, you need to do something right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can't just we gotta stop doing that, man. You know.
But yeah, you gotta add to your faith. Faith without works is dead.
Oh,
Regardless
that's
of how
bad.
much faith you get, you have to decide to move in it. You have to make the decision
Facts.
that I'm gonna do better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big.
You have to make that decision, definitely.
That's big, man. We are talking about a topic. Hope you guys are still tuned in, man. Be sure you keep commenting and sharing and liking and everything like that. But before we switch gears, just want to touch one more unanimous point on mental health, man, especially during the holiday times, man, Christmas, Thanksgiving, holidays, you know, it can be a real depressing time for people. And like I say, just in general, year round, we have a lot of athletes coming out, being bold and saying they're dealing with depression or PTSD. I think Everson Griffin for the Vikings said he deals with where he had two personalities.
Bipolar.
Bipolar, yeah. So, and just being man enough to admit it, you know.
I was gonna say Gemini, but yeah.
Just admitting it, you see what I'm saying? And like I said, I can admit that, you know, even me, I've dealt with mental health issues where I felt like less than. You see,
Eating disorders.
you see what I'm saying?
Some people got eating disorders.
Eating disorders, drinking, sex.
I think it's
drugs.
I think it's a gift and a curse because the gift is you at least identifying who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing where your problem lays at. You know what I'm saying?
And taking the steps to try to better.
That's you saying it from a healthy mindset, and they dealing with it from a mindset where they not really ready to confront it.
Yeah.
You know what
or
I'm
don't
saying?
want to talk to somebody else.
Right,
So
don't
I
wanna talk to
encourage you
somebody,
guys,
yeah.
anybody out there that's dealing with any type of mental health, anything, or just you feeling lonely or depressed or isolated or anything that's going on, I encourage you, even if it's somebody that's not your family or friends, talk to somebody. Anybody, you know, just get it off your chest because I'm telling you, it's going to feel better. You're going to feel better about it.
Post some on TOTB. We here.
There you go. Let us know. We'll talk about it.
Grind is a counselor. We
Yeah, for sure.
So, and you know, we out here.
Yeah, and we want to see the betterment of our community. So, with that being said, grind. It is about that time.
Man, it's that time. Shout out
Grind
to the plug.
time.
Shout out
Shout out
to the
plug.
man. You would just take time to, man, speak up on some good people doing some great things, man. Of course, I'm going to kick it right off, man. Listen, Moolah Monster Collection.
There it
Man,
is.
if you ain't in tune, get in tune.
Better get in
For the
tune.
latest and
Facts.
greatest on Urban Well, what can they find you at, bro?
MoolahMonster.com and Moolah Monster Collections Instagram. Check me out.
There it is.
Alright. Man, if y'all ain't never heard Holy Grind, check him out. Decent. He's pretty decent. I like him. You know what I'm saying? I like
Dope
him.
dude,
I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
Check him out. Latest album, Holy Grind, SRT, Sin, Repent, Travail. Check it out. It's on all streaming platforms.
Definitely.
You will definitely appreciate it.
Y'all went and got Dondas. Y'all go get that.
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Man, listen. Reggie moving forward. The Non-Society Podcast, for where they touch some crazy issues on
Scandalous.
dirty on
Disgusting.
relationships. Relationships, man. I always got some hot topics, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they be tripping me out because some of them be on there twisted, man. I know they be twisted. Also, man, I want to shout out two businesses today, man. I want y'all, if y'all in the Chicagoland area, y'all check out Chicago Chicken Shack. It's at 1825 Roosevelt Road, Broadview, Illinois, 60155, man. Great place, man, to dine in. If you like wings, man, y'all check them out. The other one I want y'all to check out is Lux Coach Limo. If you need a night out on the town and you want to move around Chicago, one thing I do know is the man in the Chicago area, but he go from Chicago. I know he went to Detroit, Wisconsin, Indiana. Like if you want to check them out, Lux Coach Limo is LuxCoachlimo, and you can look that up, luxcoachlimo.com. Man, if you need to move around, man, shout out to the
Shout
out
out
to
to
the
the
plug.
plug. Shout out to the plug. So listen, guys, if this is your first time checking out the show, welcome. But before we end every show, we got a segment that we gotta get to. A segment that has been trending on a lot of different social media platforms. Some of us have said some stuff on this segment that is trending. I'm not gonna point no elbows.
Right.
But this segment is called What's in That Bag? And what's in that bag? What we do here is we ask you guys. The first season, it was me just giving the thinkers a situation, they respond on it, right? This season, season 2, you guys are sending these emails, and y'all been sending them. So continue to send us these emails about what's going on in your life, and then I'll read it. The guys give their input on it. I'll finish off with mine, and we help out, right? So are you guys ready for this one?
Let's go.
Okay, all right. Be sure you guys comment, subscribe, and share this segment. All right. Here we go. It says, "What's up, fellas? This is Big T from Indy, but I'm from Chicago. Keep doing y'all thing. The streets rock with it. Much love, bro. I'm going to get right to it, man. So dig this. Me and my chick been together for a couple years now, and yeah, it has its ups and downs. But what relationship don't, right? A couple months ago, I ended up doing some dumb shit, and while drunk, I hooked up with this other girl who I met while at this little party. I'm gonna keep it a buck and admit that it felt good while doing it, but afterwards I felt bogus as hell. I didn't come clean to my lady though, because I'm not crazy. So I just decided not to mess with the other chick again and focus on my relationship. 2 weeks ago, me and my lady were in the mall and I saw that girl who I hooked up with before walking towards me. I probably should have told my lady right then and there, but I didn't. And the other girl walked up to me and made a small scene. Obviously, my lady was upset, so I finally came clean, told her what I did. She was hurt and didn't talk to me for 2 days. Finally, she called me and we met up. She expressed to me how disappointed in me she was, and she still loved me, but she needed me to know something. She informed me that she got her quote-unquote lick back with some other dude she knew, and that she did it to get back at me. Bro, he highlighted. I lost my mind. I instantly stood up and felt mad. It's like I felt a full rage come on to me. She tried to calm me down by saying the other dude was just someone she was cool with and didn't mean anything to her, and she just wanted me to hurt the same way that I hurt her. So y'all tell me, am I tripping for feeling a certain way about her now, or should I just chalk it up as karma and move forward, my lady, and trust her? Thanks. Man.
Well, we already covered that with the mental health.
Oh.
I thought we
Hurt the body, hurt the soul.
That's dope.
So I'm gonna
we already
I'm gonna let the thinkers go, and because man, hurt the body, hurt the soul, boy.
He's the subject expert. I don't know what to say. 'Cause I'm always messing this up.
All right.
If
All right.
that's
Yeah, he ready too.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. What you got? What you got?
I know.
Sheesh.
Listen. All right. First of all, I ain't gonna call him Big T. What is this T, right?
This team.
Pause.
No, he called it.
You can't take big.
No, just don't go
All right,
together.
T.
All right, T. Hey, that was some. I ain't gonna say I went through, but one of my close friends been through, right? But it's what I told him, man. Right? Like Joe, she got a lick back, right? But if y'all see, the key words was she did it within 2 days.
But that was like one of them glasses. Where you
She did it within 2 days, y'all. Let me say she didn't talk to him for 2 days.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So that's the key word. All right, now, he said he was dealing with it for a couple of years. That was cool.
She needs to be consoled. I ain't
Sheesh.
cut you off. Go ahead.
You know, I'ma always ride with my guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes, you know, we think with the wrong head. Sometimes we don't even know these girls' last names. You know what I'm saying? We just do it. You know what I'm saying? But like I always told you, I said, when a man have sex, when the man cheat, he's not really cheating. He's just having sex.
Right.
Okay.
I like that. Like,
Okay.
I like how
A
you
woman
word that.
cheats. She ain't just met this man in 2 days.
Obviously.
Right.
He been on the layup
Obviously,
line.
They
yeah.
work together.
Come on, that's the number one spot.
When she said he was
boy.
a friend,
Yeah, he been
did
a
say he was a
friend.
friend.
A good friend.
So she already
I
knew in
can't
her
wait- I
mind.
can't
A
wait
good
to-
friend.
Ooh,
You know what I'm
wait.
saying?
But mental health, remember, TOTB, you can punch in about mental health, because this could lead to some type of depression.
Oh, it's mental
Oh,
health.
Right.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
struggling.
It's-
Hey, but let me finish though.
ahead, go ahead.
But T, you know, you made the bed. You got to lie in it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it now is it's on you now,
Okay.
because you can now go take another dive, right, into something else, because she did you like that. Because when a woman do a nigga wrong, it's different when a nigga do a woman wrong.
It's a hurt.
So
It's
that's what-
different.
So should teach
So her
Josh-
lick back is not just a smack. It was like a uppercut, DDT, suplex. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I say it's up to you now. The ball's in your court now. What you gonna do?
Would you
Yeah.
stay with her or would you
This
leave?
is what we
The
want.
ball's in T court.